Welcome to week 2, episode 2 of the Rise as One podcast. My name is Joe Schirmer. I'll be your host this week. And as you can see, I'm not in the studio today. Today I had to adapt, adjust, and execute. So I'm here in my home office, but I still wanted to serve you all out there in the community. As we said last week, I think this platform is going to be it's going to impact masses across the world, across the globe, because people that know me, I just love to give. I'm a giver at heart. I love to see other people succeed. I love to see other people rise up. So I am here today to serve you. And today I want to talk about the 3 C's. And if you guys can log in here and send some of your comments, send some of your ideas, send some of your questions you have for me. We'll answer some of these questions as we get started here. I see Danny Anna logging in. How you guys doing today? I'll be seeing Danny here pretty soon, my brother. Thank you for Operation VetFit. Big shout out to Operation VetFit, man. What a difference. I spoke to a guy on the phone the other day, a friend of a friend. He's going through a lot of trials and tribulations right now. He had an injury, and I believe that sitting at home, he started reliving a lot of these things from the past, what he saw in wartime. In wartime, anybody's been in the military, you guys know. The stuff that we do there is very not for everybody, to say the least. But I appreciate you guys for logging in today. And today I want to talk about the 3 C's. Okay, the main reason I want to talk about the 3 C's is connection, creation, and contribution. If we're connecting, we're not all alone. So obviously with what Danny does down at Operation VetFit is he connects all these guys that are coming back from combat. So this is a combat operations that he runs down there, all for combat veterans. And some of these guys are Medal of Honor winners. Everything from World War II veterans to Korea to Vietnam to the recent wars over here in Iraq and Afghanistan. Some of these guys, I see them coming back. I do a lot of stuff with the volunteering and competing in some of these competitions to raise money. And some of their stories are life-changing. So a shout out to all the veterans out there today watching. I know Danny's posted a link to his page. Please reach out to his organization. You can donate in any capacity. I know I'll be extremely grateful. I'm going down to visit with these guys here in South Carolina in the early part of April. I'm looking forward to seeing all you guys down there. But today we want to talk about the 3 C's: connection, contribution, and creation. So when we're connecting, I consider this like a tribe, right? If you look back in the early part of mankind time when we came to take the land from the Indians, and Britons came over here and took the land. And the Indians would go out and they would fight these battles, and these guys had superior weapons, but they would come back to the tribe and they were okay. When they're out there all alone, what happens? We get into our heads, we start feeling depressed, we start getting all these crazy thoughts. I mean, the mind is what we use, the capacity of our minds, we use very little of our minds. Creation. If we're not creating, we're born creators, right? We have the ability to create. I think of artists, songwriters, people that sing, people that can draw. These guys have some amazing talents. And then we have our business side of the people. They can create in business. They can create a business out of thin air. And then we talk about our contributions. And I love to contribute. I mean, every time I hear somebody sends me a letter about donate to this, donate to that, I'll check out the organization. I believe that anybody that has a paid soliciting, I'm very, very, very against that, and so to speak, because I know they have a good purpose, but a lot of the monies go to their operating costs. Is fine, but when it goes to them personally, I have a problem with that. I don't think it's a nonprofit. I know one of my brothers right now in the Next Level Experience is getting ready to create 2 charities actually. They're going to be very powerful. I'll have him on here one day. We'll talk about his charities. But when we contribute, there's something special that happens to us when we contribute. When you give freely of yourself. I call it the boomerang of life, right? You throw out this boomerang. If you do something good for somebody, a lot of people call it karma. They do something bad for somebody, right, guys? It comes back to you. And if you do something good for somebody, ultimately, it makes you feel good about yourself. Giving freely of yourself is the fastest way to grow, in my opinion. I think that I've seen it over time where I continually planting the seeds of giving one year, and the following year something great happens in life. So I'd love to hear about what you guys do for contributing on your end of the spectrum, because I know there's a lot of stories that you guys going out there, you just went out of your way, even holding the door for somebody. I was in the supermarket the other day. I met up with one of my former neighbors. I've known this woman for over 20 years and her 2 two kids, 4 kids. They were quadruplets, 2 boys, 2 girls, and she's still that same person, that loving, caring person that gave so much of herself to her children. They went on to be so successful, free rides to a great college. And I look at her and I'm amazed at how much one person can give. So the 3 C's, again, contribution, creation, and connection. I love to connect with people. I'm a people person. As you guys can tell, I'm constantly out here posting stuff, shooting some live videos, taking pictures of venues that I go to, creating this lifeline of a story. I mean, I'm excited because I have a good friend of mine. We're going to piece all this stuff together and create like a documentary over a 10-year period. I think I'm coming up on 10 years on Facebook. I can't even imagine what I have 10 years ago on Facebook. As in the stuff I've been doing the last 2 years, been doing a lot of traveling. My wife and I have been going out to Colorado. We have family out there. We've been traveling down to Florida, seeing my father, like we talked about last week's episode. And I just love to connect. I know for you guys out there, if you're looking to connect, there's meetup groups out there, something that you're passionate about. Find something that you really enjoy doing. Go to a meetup group, go to meetup.com. You can go on there. You can create your own group. You can join another group. There are thousands of activities out there for doing anything. You can do stuff from music to business to just go hang out. I think there's one that's like a go hang out in the bar, let's have wine and cheese or something that somebody created. But ultimately, there's plenty of avenues out there for you guys to engage in something that you enjoy doing. Because I believe when you do something that you love to do, it becomes effortless for us. And then we can go out and transcend that feeling onto the people that we care about the most. So we got some people logging in here. I see Chris, I see Edwin, Guy, what's up, brother? I see Paul, I see JB, Jason Bauer in the house, all the way from the cold country up there. What are you doing on this podcast with your taxes being done up there? But I love this interaction with Facebook and all these social platforms. I know a lot of my friends, they say, oh, that Facebook thing, that LinkedIn thing. I mean, today's day and age, everybody's so busy. This is one of the easiest ways to connect. And here we are talking about connection. Here I get to connect with people from all over the world. I see Tom's on here. I see Mike. And to connect with somebody without taking a lot of time out of your day, because obviously, look at it, guys. Up here in the Northeast, these guys in New York City and all these big cities, we're driving around like chickens with our heads cut off. We're just constantly on the go. No matter where you go, people are in a hurry. Sometimes we just have to slow down and speed up and really smell the roses. I've been doing this personally myself. I've been doing this a lot lately. And my wife is here to remind me. And she knows it. Says, if I'm not giving her the attention that she deserves this day, she'll let me know. And I know I was just away recently on a gathering, and I came back, and in my mind I was saying before I even got back to the house that I got to make sure that I give her the attention that she deserves. And I came home, and I went right to business. I had all these things I had to catch up on. I started doing this, started doing that. And next thing I know, she reminded me that, hey, Joe, what about me? So I think that it's very important to work 4 areas of life. We call it the 4 B's of life. Work your body, work your being, work your business, and work your bonds. I know I made a video probably about a year and a half ago, talking about the 4 B's. And there's something to be said about that, because if we operate at 25% capacity in each one of those areas, the people that we're with at that moment are going to feel that. So if we're with our kids, we're with our wives, with our husbands, and you're on your phone and not being present with them, they're going to feel that. They're going to know that. And if we're working on our bodies and we're thinking about what I should be doing when I get home, we're going to do a half-assed workout in the gym. If we're doing our daily prayers or connecting to God, whatever you guys do out there, it's like you can't be thinking about your bonds. You can't be thinking about your business. You can't be thinking about your body. You got to start thinking about, how do I connect at a deeper level? So I'd love to hear some of you guys' feedback over here in the comments section. So what I'm going to do is every single week I'm going to go through these comments. I'm going to pick out a couple of these questions, and the following week I'll start the session with your questions, answering your questions. I'll even answer some live ones here today if you want to make a couple comments. I see Anna all the way from the Philippines. And it's good to see you over there. I've been watching your journey. I know that a lot of the things that I want to talk to you guys about today also, and this pertains to you, Anna, is that the things that we think about, the things that we obsess about, like a lot of us are obsessive compulsive. We think about these lot of things. Like last night, I was up till 5 o'clock in the morning. I took a couple-hour nap around 11 o'clock watching a movie. Now I woke up and I was online all night long, executing, doing things, and like finally went to bed, and I had a business meetings this morning I had to get up to. But Anna, one thing that you want to focus on, sweetheart, is that Focus on what you want, not what you don't want. Because inevitably, the thing that we create, this big monster, it could be something so simple and small, but all of a sudden we keep thinking about it. We make this thing so big that it consumes us. So definitely do more of the focusing on the things that you want, not what you don't want in this world, because inevitably the things we talk about, the things we speak about, and the things that we do will become us. So with that being said, I want to talk a little bit about creation. How do we create? So for me, I love to create. When I'm getting in that creative mode, I find that things just start flowing naturally. It's almost like getting in the flow state, like a basketball player. When you see they talk about the hot hand in basketball, and they start making every single shot, no matter where it was. You hear these guys in their interviews after the basketball game. I knew it was going in as he threw up the shot. It's because you get into that flow state of that creating the energy to get into that state. And then the opposite can work for you too as well. You get into the mentality of woe is me, why is me, blaming things, and that becomes you. And you absorb that energy. So I would say focus on the creation, something that you're very passionate about. Focus on creating that. And even like if you went into like a meetup thing, going back to the connection part, how about finding something you're really passionate about, creating a meetup group, and then invite some of the people into that group. And then meet once a week, once a month. I know there's Jeffrey Stearns out there. They have a big hiking club. They go on all these long hikes. I mean, anything you're passionate about, things that you love to do, because obviously we're always taking care of our kids. We're always taking care of our houses. We're always got to be working. We're always going to be paying the bills. And when we go out and do something that feeds ourselves internally, there's something that happens, like a switch goes off where we actually can become childlike again. Remember when you were back 2, 3, 4, 5 years old and nothing really mattered? Time's like slowed down. When you're in school, it's like took forever to get through the school year. And as we get older, it's like, man, the time just flies by. You're trying to slow it down. And a lot of that's because you're present in that moment. So presence is key to being happy in this world. If we're worried about what we're going to be doing tomorrow, we're going to get anxious. If we think about the things that we messed up on in the past, we're going to get depressed. Focus on what you're doing right here, right now, right here today. I know you guys heard a lot of these messages from me before, and I just want to reiterate that. Stay in the present moment. Be childlike. Play pretend with yourself sometimes. You get into that pretend moment when you were kids. You used to play pretend. You were so happy in that moment. Then we get older and we just mess things up. Everything's an issue. Everything's a problem. And I believe it's just challenges. I was in Jamaica a couple of years. Kathy and I went down there for a cruise. They were talking about there's no problems, just situations. So kind of look at it that way too. It's just situations, a challenge. How do I get through this challenging time in my life? But Blink is good right there, Josh. Appreciate that, buddy, for logging in there. I see Josh is logging in here today. So guys, comment, like, share. Please share this with somebody. I got a ton of stuff I'm going to go execute on here today for my business since I was away, and I'm leaving again next week, going out to a good friend of mine's wedding. Then we're going to drive up to Colorado. I'm very excited about that. And I just love traveling and seeing things, different things, and exploring and enjoying different avenues of life, because ultimately life is meant to be lived. So guys, thank you for logging in today. Thank you for watching this podcast. Episode 2 is a wrap. Please comment, please share. I will definitely be following up on your questions next week. As you know, you guys, I love to give. What can you do today to go out and contribute to somebody, make a difference in their life as well as make a difference in your life? Because in order to give something freely of oneself, it all comes back to us in the end. And together we shall rise as one. You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. God bless.